Hi there, my name is Amanda McCash, and this is my video editing statement for the final project and the video essay. So this assignment was one where we had to kind of pick an issue and basically write a paper about it, but in a video multimedia platform with sources and things like that from real people and getting stuff like that. And it was. I think this was a very difficult assignment for me. I just think because I picked a very difficult topic to talk about in a sort of multimedia platform like this, I did find it pretty difficult to find sources and stuff on it. So it was just very challenging overall, and it was definitely not. It turned out okay, but it's not my favorite one. It's not the one that I'm the most proud of from this class. The topic that I chose was internet security. It was kind of made timely by the emergence of the HQ app, which is a trivia game that you play live twice daily, and it's an opportunity to win money. But it came up just because it was brought to my attention to look at the terms and conditions, because you give them license to do whatever they want with any information that you give to them, and probably very small percentage of the people who actually use the app know about that. So internet security is definitely a hot topic right now anyway, just because technology is becoming so much more prominent and sophisticated, and it's only going to grow from there, and people just need to be aware of how they can protect themselves. So I definitely think this topic it's due. We really do need to talk about it. It's just really hard. It was just hard for me to put together a project of this at this kind of level to that subject. I did run into a few bumps along the way. I had strep at the beginning of the assignment, so it was really hard for me to catch up. So I only ended up having 2 sources, and I would definitely preferred to have had more. And not only that, but one of the sources, who's an expert, he graduated today from computer science. And I contacted 2 professors in CS to try and get a more expert opinion on it, but no one returned any of my emails. It was just a whole big issue. So the sources, while inaccurate, did provide decent quotes, and it turned out okay, but I would have preferred something a little more high quality. It was actually really difficult this time in the editing process because usually my A roll is fine. I've never had an issue with it. But the speech patterns of, in particular, one of my sources, it was just very difficult to work with, because he would say a sentence and then immediately go into the next thought. And it was really hard to get quotes from him that sounded natural when they stopped. So it throughout the entire video, it really bothers me because it sounds so awkward. It sounds like I'm cutting him off, but I really am not. It's just he goes right into the next sentence, and it sounds so strange, and it really bothers me listening to it. But I did what I could, and it just made it really hard to get quotes that sounded natural. Another thing that was difficult about this assignment was it was a very difficult topic to talk about, especially because it was really hard to find B-roll for it. Naturally, I could get B-roll of people playing the game, but how do you get B-roll of internet security? It was just kind of, I had to use my imagination to come up with stuff. I had people scrolling through social media. I had people finding the terms and conditions in social media. I had people finding the privacy settings and Facebook and stuff like that. And I did find a couple of 1 or 2 facts that I had just as graphics, blank slides with words on them, just as B-roll. But it was very frustrating trying to come up with ideas, especially in that high pressure. I really wasn't sure what to do for some of those. But if I had picked a topic, one of the my other 2 topics were a little bit easier to think of ideas for but this was just the one that ended up being the easiest to do in the time frame that I had. So that was definitely an issue, the B-roll. Another thing that I had not anticipated was that I wasn't sure how to end it. Did I want the ending to be like this is up to you, or like as like a persuasive sort of thing. That's not very journalistic. Usually you're supposed to be like very objective, unless it's like an opinions piece or something. But I wasn't sure how I wanted to end it until I started, looking through the quotes and being like, okay, this would work for an ending, this wouldn't work. So that was problematic. But I did figure it out eventually. I kind of left the ending as like you pick your poison. Like, yes, technology, you're going to have your risks and blah, blah, blah. But, like, you can take these steps to kind of combat that. And, like, while you're at risk, you can still be safe. So that's kind of how I ended it. And then another kind of weird thing that happened was we were told in class that we would never run out of room on our memory cards. But I think that I've just been using my camera too much, because I did run out in the middle of an interview. And I didn't realize it until after I got home. And like I had all the audio, but the visual for like half my quotes for the CS source were gone. And unfortunately the ending quote that I chose was part of the audio that didn't have visual. So the ending of my project actually really bothers me, because I needed that quote because it made the most sense for having that, like, the ending of like having like the yes but no kind of thing. It was just a really good quote for that, but there was no visual to go along with it, so I kind of just had to do B-roll. But you don't see his face for like a good, 20 seconds. That really bothered me when looking back at it. There were parts that I liked. I did think that this experience did help me grow a little bit. I did, like, that's just a topic that, like, I hadn't really thought about much before this project, and it's super necessary. It really made me think about how I do my own internet security and how I protect myself. So I think that helped me at least. And I did, like, the quality of the videos and things like that, I think I did really improve since my first few run arounds with the video camera. Just learning how to, interview people and having to use all the technology that I have to use. My questions, of course, my interviews themselves were actually really, really well, just because I had plenty of material to work with. And they were pretty long interviews, so I think that turned out well. But overall, it was okay. Like, it's not my favorite work, but it wasn't trash. And it's something that I can still be proud of. So, that's it overall, and I'm really glad. Oh, and also the essay. Well, it wasn't really an essay. We had to write an intro to the problem, and I think that was also, it was necessary, because this is like an issue that like is hard to just like dive right into. Like, you kind of need an explanation for why I'm talking about this. And I think that was a good step to have, and I think that actually it helped me organize my thoughts a little bit better along the way. So, yeah, I think that the project, while not my finest moment, I think that it did work out for the best in the end. So yeah, I really enjoyed taking this class, and I definitely hope to continue working with multimedia in the future of my journalism career.